So I was just about 21 years old when, yeah, about that, when I decided that I didn't just want my life to be a success. I was chasing another man's journey and I left my own. That was when I locked in and just started chasing a life of purpose at 21. Yeah. The truth is, you have to lock in. It's no longer time to joke. Your life is too precious. I had a conversation the other day that got me to pause for a bit in gratitude because I realized that I'm really truly blessed to have people that are anchors, true anchors to me on my journey. People who understand exactly what it is like to walk through the valley of the shadows of death and fear no evil. People who will never allow your fear to thrive. They won't. Because they are one in spirit and they themselves are deliberately choosing God in their lives. They are deliberately choosing to walk with God, to follow God, to go according to His will in their lives. So they understand that they are in your life for not just the mundane. They know that there is a purpose why they're in your life and they actually stand firm on business. And even though I realized that it's all God, I was intentional somewhere. I locked in. I decided on my journey that I was going to lock in. The truth is, you have to lock in. It's no longer time to joke. Your life is too precious. So, in this video, I'm going to be sharing a few ways locking in, centering on my life's purpose, and paying details to the necessary changes in my life has positioned me to be blessed through different seasons and keeps me positioned or hopeful for even better seasons, better successes, or just a more fulfilled and joyful and happy life. Keeps me assured of my future. By the grace of God, what I'm going to be sharing with you might just be what you need as well to have even better. There's a joy, there's a gratitude, there's a peace, there's a happiness, there's just a level of contentment that just satisfies me. And you can tap into that as well, or even more. So if you are interested in a video like this, then please stay till the end. My name is Jasmine Hasselwright Ekuma, and on this side of the internet, I just want you to be your better self. I'm sharing everything I can through conversations, faith conversations, conversations from experiences that I have lived or I have been inspired by, and a little bit of lifestyle videos so that we can get to know ourselves better. But on this side of the internet, everything is inspiration. You're welcome. So let's get straight into it. In order to lock in, you have to have a desire and a question at heart. Well, from my experience, for me, it was a desire to do life on God's terms, to know Him for who He was ready to reveal Himself to me. And then the question, when I sensed that He was doing just that, became, God, if you're truly here, confirm it and give me peace. You don't get rare or quality just anywhere, shopping at any store. No, you don't. You actually have to decide that you want the best. Then do your own personal research, reevaluate, readjust, and actually curate your environment to accommodate it when you receive it. It's intentional. If you want to get classic, limited edition, something special, you have to intentionally look for the places that will give you, that offer that kind of service. You cannot just be looking everywhere. So I was just about 21 years old when, yeah, about that, when I decided that I didn't just want my life to be a success by every standard or by man's standard, and then find out at the end of the day that I wasn't even walking in God's blueprint at all. Like, I was chasing another man's journey and I left my own. I honestly didn't want to just take the path of life that resonated with my certificate, with what I studied. I didn't just want that positioning from favor. You know, the success that comes from being positioned due to favor. Like I got at this stage of my life, I knew that I wanted to succeed, but I wanted to be in God's alignment. Like I knew it. Like I knew that that is what I wanted. So I had this uncertain love and passion for like the creative where it just came naturally and it gave me peace. But then at that time, they just seemed like moments in what was a bigger play in my life. Okay, so at 21, I think I was either just completing NYC or still in the process of my NYC. So I had just finished university and doing my UCore. So the next thing is obviously getting a job, aligning with either what you studied or just getting a professional job, basically. But then I love to write. I just love to write. It was my escape. Like I would write articles, write things, write different. I was always writing something on my system, and I just had these pages and pages of writing. Sometimes I would write a short story, and I loved to do those things. Sometimes when I'm emotional, a lot of times when I was emotional, maybe I was upset with my mom or something, or upset at, or just not in a good frame of mind. That was my escape, writing, creating, like designing some kind of template or something like that. It just came naturally, but it didn't feel like anything that was tangible enough. It felt like it was just, I just love to do it. Like it's just follow come, it wasn't anything that was overly thought through to be something serious at that time. Then there was also this season where I accidentally got into acting. Maybe that'll be a story for another day. And from just doing one or two, you know, I loved it. I loved being on screen. I loved being someone who I wasn't. I loved the fact that I could be a character that had nothing to do with me. And like, I just loved it. I was given, it was given to me, but I found out that I loved it. But they all just felt like they were not the real thing. I mean, at that time, but I knew that I had this thing. Like I knew, it's just something you can't place your hand on. You love and you're probably really good at it. People in my life at that time would always say, "Oh, you write well." Oh, my sister Ojima would always be sending me one link to put my write up somewhere, Bella Niger, something. People did believe that I had a thing, but I didn't really see much to it at that time. So that's what I mean when I say it felt like a casual thing in a bigger scale. And the bigger scale was, you know, make money on with a professional job and keep increasing on the ladder and be a top professional, be an executive. But then I also love God. Like I've always loved God. Grew up in a Christian family. My mom loves God. I grew up watching her love God. I guess I just loved God because of watching her love God. I mean, I can't necessarily say that I was a child that would go for the bad option, except I mean, I had my moments, I've gone through teenage life and all of that. I was in NYC. So I've had experiences, but I almost always would find myself on the good path, like because I was a scaredy cat to doing things that would upset God, the religion of it. I guess because of that love for God, I always knew that there was a life He has planned for me. And I just started to begin to feel more of this. I want to do it His way. I want to do it His way. It was like a quickening and a disturbing, might I even add. So I became unsettled. Like I kind of started feeling like there was more, there was something more, there was a deeper with God, you know. I can't even explain it, but I know that I was at that stage where I knew that there was an experience I could have with God, or He was quickening me to have with Him. But, well, I'm a Christian already. Like, I'm already doing good. I'm already doing all right. I'm in the choir. I'm in this. I'm marking the attendances in church and things like that. Like, but it wasn't, there was still a thirst. One day I remember quite vividly, I got exposed to an opportunity and an information that made me check myself. Like, God, I want to know that you're here. I want to know that you are in this place of my questioning, in this place of my desire for more, in this place of my desire to have a revelation of you, to know you in truth, in this place of my desire to do life the way you want me to do it, like to align with you. I remember that. I do remember that night where I just told God, if you are here, give me peace. And He did, which would be, I guess, another story for another day. But once I got that assurance, this was, yes, about that 2014, 2015 now. So 2020, 21, going to 22 thereabouts. Once I got that, once I had that peace and that revelation of clarity that, yes, I'm here. Yes, I I don't want to lose you. I want you to come to me. I locked in. That was actually when I locked in. That was when I locked in and just started chasing a life of purpose at 21. Yeah. So as I said, you have to first decide that you want the best. You want the best option. You have to decide that you don't want to compromise in life. You don't want to do life haphazardly. You actually want to align. Search for it. Reevaluate your environment. And then this now leads to the second thing, or the second aspect of locking in. You can't settle. You can't settle for less. See, to be very honest, looking back now, 11 years back to the point where I am, settling was not just something that I was so good at not doing. No, not settling for me just came covered in obedience to God. Shikina. That's just it. I escaped compromises. I escaped exchanging that conviction of doing life the way God wants me to do it for anything temporary or hyped because of obedience. That's how I didn't settle. Honestly, that's how I didn't settle when I think about it, just because I was trying in obedience. It wasn't perfect. I will fail. I might not obey at the right time. I might not obey at all. And then I get myself back once I get a caution in and I go hard again. But I was willing to obey. Like, I have been on a journey of obedience with God where, trust me, there are instructions He will give and it doesn't make sense. How are you supposed to? That's how you will not settle. That's how I didn't settle in life. So far, so good. And that's how you won't settle in anything, in your relationship with friends, in your marriage, in your finances, in your career path. It might not even look like you are there yet, but trust me, when you check your track record, you will understand that you're on a league of your own. Obeying, no matter how little I understood, obeying when sometimes I was confused, obeying when the task was daunting. It's the spiritual language for not settling in the physical. Because as long as you're aligning with God, Jesus said, I do everything that the Father, like, I'm just a replication of what the Father is. Whatever He says is what I say. Whatever He does is what I do. And that's how His journey was His journey. Do you get the drift? The moment you decide that I want to do life on God's terms, I want to do it the way He wants me to do it, you have sent a signal to hell that there is a new target, or one target is active. You will literally vex the devil, because what the enemy does not want is for you to be in alignment with God. He knows that. I mean, come on. He knows that we are flawed. You know, he knows that you're going to make petty mistakes. But what he cannot stand is that with your imperfection, you're ready to hold God like this. That's his greatest fear. Because as long as if God be for me, who can be against me? As long as you are failing in life, but you are grabbing God. God, don't leave me. I dare by your side. I'm hooking to the hem of your garment. The enemy will constantly be in trouble. Because no matter what happens, as you are obeying God, you are awakening purpose. You are setting up a path that other people can follow. You don't know it all. You are just doing obedience. You are just walking through your obedience on a daily. But you don't know that as you have passed this level, you have laid down templates, covered up open areas for other people to walk in. That's really the imagery of winning souls, of winning people to God, that you are being transformed in your life and you are locked into your purpose. So it attracts the people who are thirsty for what you have, and more people are coming to God. That will hit the enemy like the devil will be pissed. So he will come for you, and he will come for you with every compromise possible. I mean, he came for Jesus with the temptations of food, of fame, and wealth and prominence. But what did Jesus tell him? Get away. You can't tempt the Lord your God. Are you dumb? See, staying locked into my life and chasing my own journey has removed, it has pruned, it has added. It's added what needs to be added, the people that needed to be added. It has removed the people that needed to be removed, even when I didn't know that it needed to be removed. Even when I was still trying to hang on to them. But my willingness to obey God eventually allowed me to disconnect. Not that they were bad. Not everybody is bad. There were bad people on the journey. That it is when God exposes the heart, you know that, oh, but it's not everybody that's bad. It's just that everybody who isn't willing to come up hither cannot understand your journey and cannot work with you in agreement. If two cannot work together, I mean, if two don't agree, they cannot work together. So it's disconnected me from excesses. That is what led me to the beginning of my conversation when I said, just being in a place where you're having conversations with the people in your life and you are grateful because you are now in a space that you are anchored. It's not every day my faith is the strongest. Sometimes I'm believing God and I am walking a walk of, I'm not seeing this thing and daddy, how far? But the moment I have a conversation with my family, my people, it cannot stay. What's that? What is a doubt? What is fear? Give you back to back. You will get the word back. People that understand your journey enough to know the revelation of God in your life to remind you that, do you remember what God said? It can't stay. If that's not a blessing, I don't know what is. The enemy he cannot linger. People that you will hold your hand in agreement and tackle issues and come out and be flashy again the next day, looking like nothing is happening, baby girling it outside, warfare inside. You have to lock in. It's not this is a blessing of locking in. The way God wants you to lock in, being a child, his child, being in the faith. Not just locking in as per setting your goals and going for it. What goals? If the goals are not the goals are meant for your life, you will live your journey and be successful. And tomorrow when you get back to heaven, it's like, I don't know you. I didn't see you. You don't have any record here. But yeah, you did great. You won this. You did that. Blah, 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 blah. Locking in has made me comfortable to walk out of situations that, quite frankly, some people will jump at. Opportunities that people will wonder, are you not young and shouldn't you be exploring this option? But that my father said I shouldn't. So why bother? I'm not going to fail because I did not jump on that and everybody's trying to hug it. Locking in has made me lose thirst for associations. I'm not hungry. I am not hungry to be in any club, clique, or whatever. I don't care what it looks like, who they are, what they have. I don't, in fact, to be honest, I feel like I'm even in a place where I'm, God is even the person dragging me out of my comfort zone. I mean, I'm on here speaking when I don't even want to be on YouTube because I don't want to be vulnerable. I just want to mind my business. I don't see something, you know, I'm not looking for who to join, who to follow, who to gist with, who to hail, who to hype in order to, no, I don't need it. And it's not pride. It's just the truth. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with whoever God adds in my journey. And because I know what value is. Value is not all of that. Value is not the flash. A successful life to me is not that I know who and who. A successful life to me is that the enemy is going to fail again tomorrow. Because if I don't have the strength to, I have anchors. I have people that if I didn't hear it, they will hear it for me. That's success to me. Success is that I'm in a marriage that my husband is one with me in spirit, in truth, in body, in everything, who trusts my journey with God, who I can trust his own journey with God, who is my support and my anchor, who loves the way I love or loves those that I love because they are the people that I love. You know, success to me is that nobody needs to know that you are winning, but you are winning. Success to me is that I can overcome really dark, shadowed, sad moments, depressing times, and nobody would even know that that was happening. Because again, I am in the right place. You have to lock in. You please. You have to lock in. It's not business as usual anymore in these end times. So the enemy he has situated confusions in the form of things to excite, appraisals, things that are worthy. But at the end of the day, it's just a trap for you to distance yourself more and more and more away from God. And if you never get to a place where you say, Daddy, how do you want me to live this my life? What do you have planned? What can we start this journey? You will not meet the people that are for you. And if you even meet them, you will not see their value, so you will lose them. You would lose the opportunities that are actually for you because your eye will not see it. You would think little of it because God does not come loud. He comes, still small voice, small, 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 small. Because he will always test your heart where it is. If it comes loud, you'll be excited. But if it comes low, can you sense my presence here? Can you tell that I'm here? Can you be still enough to realize that I'm here? You have to lock in. There is no time for you to be doing business as usual anymore. I don't know. Let me just put it out there. There's no time. We're in the end times. If you don't know, no. If the news is not enough for you to understand, if the perversion of what is right and wrong is not enough for you to know that we're in the end times, if the destruction at hand, persecution, and just the tribulation going on in the world is not enough for you to know that we're in the end times, you need a direct revelation, my darling. Lock in. You have to be willing to not settle for less, even when life gives you or offers you a semblance of what you're looking for. The moment you clock in that, nah, this is not it, you can't settle, you can't accept it, you can't compromise. You have to be dogged about it. You have to be dogged about your decision. So this video is not in any way putting myself out there as perfect. Oh, I am so far from perfect. I am. I promise you. But I'm not, I cannot, like I said, I cannot be too humble to not acknowledge that I have been willing on this journey to obey God. I have. I have. I've really, from 21 years, from 2014, I made a conscious decision that I want to do life God's way. And I have never decided otherwise. I may have made the wrong choices. The mark has still been the same. God, your way or no other way. You or no other person. This is what has helped me to now be on YouTube, to now be here sharing with you, because my imperfect journey that is willing has spices, has reminders for you in the faith, for you lady, for you guy who God is trying to arrest too, so that there are more on this battle of good and evil. There are more workers. The Bible says that the harvest is plenty, the workers are few. You too have a mandate somewhere. It might not be YouTube, it might be in your professional job. It might be in a podcast. It might be in anything else. But if you never get to the place where you want to lock in and actually chase purpose by God's standard, you can't get there. You can be successful and make all the money in this life and impact, be a philanthropist, be accorded and awarded humanitarian, and have all the video recordings of all the good things you have done. But in the person that created you's file, you don't exist. So there are people attached to your life that you never touched, you never met. I hope that does something to you. And please, if it does, kindly share your experiences, share your knowledge, share your thought process about locking in, especially if you're in the faith, especially if you're someone who is either on this journey of obedience or willing to be on this journey of obedience, or doesn't even know what you want. Like, ask the question. You never know who else can relate to your particular conversation, your particular input. It will be nice to see your comments in the comment section. Also, give this video a like. Don't forget to give it a like. Don't just watch and get carried away in watching. Hopefully, please like. And if you feel welcome here, subscribe. Trust me, like I said, this family, this side of the internet, I just want to charge you to be better. It's a desire in me. It cannot die. So I'll be here next week by the grace of God, and the week after, just giving as much as I can to make sure that you also resonate with God on your journey and be the value that you're meant to be in your own life. See you next week. You can check out other videos to inspire you. By the grace of God, they will. Love and light.